Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Rachel.
And this is Wine With Us.
Part 2.
Mm-hmm. So this is part 2 of episode 2, Game of Thrones. And we literally just finished watching the premiere of season 7.
Yes, it was a little insane. It was great.
It was very insane. And we have some things to correct from part 1.
One was the huge green shebang that happened of Cersei killing so many people. It didn't happen at Tommen's funeral. Mm-hmm. It happened at the, what is it called?
It was the trial of Cersei and...
That she missed. She didn't go to her trial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she blew everyone up at her trial.
And Marjorie was like, there's something wrong here, there's something wrong here, there's something wrong here. And no one listened to her.
And how, I was thinking when we were watching that, I was like, how terrifying is this? It's like, you're trying to get out, you're trying to help everyone.
Yeah, no.
Priest dude is just, not letting anyone out. If I were her, I would have been losing my shit.
Absolutely.
I would not have been, calm and, we need to get out, or, let me out. I would have been, I would have been screaming at the top of my, lungs trying to, make people's ears bleed so I could get up.
I probably would have, too. I also would have dropped to the floor and crawled.
Yeah.
And dragged my brother along with me. I definitely wouldn't have been standing still.
No.
I would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, something's about to happen.
I
have to get out of here.
I would be, punching and flailing and...
Yeah. So I think that that's the main thing that we got wrong. Oh, and then we had said that Tommen jumped... I don't remember when we said he jumped, but he jumps right after the explosion.
So casually. So
yeah, he takes his crown off and puts that down. Strange. Yeah. That's the stuff we got wrong from the last episode.
Okay, so now we're gonna go on to this new episode because I think my favorite part was the opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just grips you, and then the rest of it was for me, I was okay, just preparing, because as Elizabeth had mentioned, that there's going to be some huge massacre.
Yeah, and that's something else that we got wrong. I read it in articles, and clearly those articles were wrong, unless they're considering the opening sequence to be the massacre, which I think would not be a very good description. I mean, technically it's a massacre because many people die, but I don't know.
That's not what
I expected.
Yeah.
I loved the opening.
Oh, it was amazing. And Elizabeth, from the second that it started, she was like, oh, it's Arya.
I did
just knew it. And I was like, oh, okay. That would make sense now. So
I wish we had that on film, because I feel like no one's going to believe me if I say that I knew it. But I did.
You did know it.
I totally called
that. Yeah, cheers to that.
Right, I totally called that. Cheers to that. But this line specifically that she says, to the daughter who she was like, you don't get that, I'm not going to waste my good wine on you. And then she says, when she finally takes the mask off, and she's like, leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe.
Yeah.
Yes, Arya. Oh my God.
And speaking of other women of power, the little tyke girl.
Yes!
I don't know. She's part of the North, but she is... Ooh, B.A.B. For real.
For real.
Yeah.
Especially when Jon Snow's calling for, people from 10 to 60 who are going to try to mine for the dragon, what's it called? The dragon ice? Dragon stone? Dragon glass. When he's saying that, and one of the other guys is like, so you expect me to put my granddaughter to work? And she stands up in all her glory, her short, 4'5" glory.
And she's like 13.
Yeah, and is like, I don't need your permission to fight in this. I'm not going to sit at home alone.
I'm not going to sit and knit.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was like, we will start training every able-bodied man, woman, boy, or girl to prepare.
Killed it.
Yeah, it was really good. I really, that was like a feel-good moment. There was a lot of girl power in this episode, I felt.
But then it also got to be a little too much girl power. It's like making me nervous.
Well, Cersei is a complete
she's a lunatic,
so...
But, like, I just don't want Daenerys to, like, go down that path.
But see, I think Daenerys has been power hungry. Like, we got halfway there once she realized how much power she had.
Yeah.
Then it became, like, all-encompassing. Like, if I'm the queen and I'm going to sit on the Iron Throne, like, I have to behave like a queen, which I get it. Like, you have to exude power in order to receive that respect, but you don't have to treat your subjects like they mean nothing to you.
You mean in the last episode of the 6th season where she tells her very handsome lover, like, no, I'm not coming because I don't want to look like I have a lover and people expect me to get married. And
that was kind of upsetting.
Here I am breaking your heart and I have no emotional,
no emotion, no remorse, no nothing. And it's like,
but, like, that's her idea of what you need to be queen. Which is sad.
Probably true. Although I guarantee Queen Elizabeth would not say that. She's lived a long, happy, well, not so happy because some bad things happened, but, like, she's lived a long life with her same husband, who is 93, Philip. He's been in the hospital recently, but he's still kicking. But she wasn't like, oh, Philip, I can't bring you to England because, you know, I have to be able to be betrothed to other nations so that there can be an alliance.
What else happened that shocked us? Oh, Ed Sheeran.
What? Right? What? That came out of nowhere.
It was, I like, enjoyed it, but I was also a little weirded out because I was like, Ed Sheeran, you have too much of baby skin to be in a uniform. Like...
Oh, he's adorable. I think he looked very nice in that uniform.
It
was maroon, but then it complemented his hair.
Yeah, and then I was just getting nervous because I was like, Arya, are you going to kill Ed Sheeran? Ed Sheeran, are you going to try and go after Arya? Like,
well,
that was making me sweat. That part was making me sweat.
Like, that whole scenario, because they're singing about, like, the comfort of a woman, and then she rolls up, and I'm just waiting for the moment where she gets attacked.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that yet. It could still happen.
Right, because now she's drinking wine.
Like, and then joking that she's going to kill the queen.
Yeah. And then, after the episode, watching the previews for the next episode, they show the woman from Greyjoy, the Queen of Dorne, and they're with they're with Daenerys.
Right.
Which makes me really nervous. Yeah. I'm hoping Tyrion will have, like, some agenda on his part that all makes sense.
He didn't say a word this entire episode.
And he didn't drink. You never saw him drinking either, which is a little weird.
Right? I will drink for you.
Yeah.
Right now. Because that was weird.
Yeah.
But maybe it shows how passionate and committed he is. I did like that they all hung back and kind of like or all the wine's gone. That's probably a more realistic explanation.
Yeah.
But they all hung back while she walked up and did her thing, and, you know, then she was like, let's begin.
Yeah. I also was happy that the Hound is back. He's one of those characters where, like, Jaime Lannister, like, has that redeeming quality. One, where Jaime Lannister was like, are we not going to talk about what happened to Tommen? That was a huge thing. And then you see the psychoticness of Cersei just being like, no, they're all dust in the wind. Like, I love them, but they're gone. So here we are moving forward. Like, okay, we get it, but, like, have a human moment for a hot second. And then the Hound, who mourned the father and the daughter that
he stole their money and, like,
left them to die.
And they did die. But then we saw him bury them and like, actually feeling guilt. Yeah. I also forgot when we were during our last episode talking about, like, all the little, you know, gangs that were getting up to all fight each other. The White Walkers. At work today, I, like, texting Elizabeth. I'm like, we forgot the White Walkers! Yeah, we only mentioned them at the very, very beginning, but we didn't mention them when we were talking about who's still around.
All of them are still around.
Yeah, they're a big thing. Because they're looming over everyone.
Yeah. Besides Cersei, she doesn't seem to know anything about them yet.
Well, they're in the south, so they'll be the last people. And then they're on the water. They can flee with their boats.
Yeah. True.
I mean, you can't live on your boat for that long. But
no.
You can live on there for a little bit.
Yeah. And I had another person, Sam. Poor Sam.
Oh, poor Sam. That whole scene that's like over and over and over again of him emptying the chamber pots and mixing the soup and serving and
there was, I felt like, a lot of like comedic relief in this.
Yeah, there was a good,
which was pretty great.
Relief.
But the music was so great during everything.
Yeah, and speaking about Sam though, leads us to what's his face, who we still don't know his name. Who, when he reached out. When Sam was trying to get his bowl, he reached his hand out and you could see the whatever was happening to his hand.
His
because
stone.
Of
He's turning into stone.
And he asked, he's like, has she arrived?
Yeah.
Like he's waiting for Daenerys.
But also, the guy who Sam interacted with when they were dissecting the body, he's Slughorn and Harry Potter. That was fun.
Nuts. That was really cool to see. That was really cool.
Okay, so you see Jorah. Because, like, I don't even remember where he was left off at, besides that he got bitten by the stone person. And then, he was going west or in some direction to go somewhere and do something. And he's doing that. He's there, he's somewhere, and he's waiting in, like, a prison cell.
To do something.
Yeah, and super sweet where, he, like, scares the crap, literally, out of Sam. And then he immediately asks about Daenerys, which is like, Jorah. He, like, makes my heart melt.
I hope that she can find it in her cold heart to forgive him.
Yeah. And, again, he's another person with the redeeming
I don't even remember what he did to piss her off.
Yeah, I wasn't that
I feel like everyone in her life has a very short fuse. Yeah. You know, like, you can't even step a toe in a different direction.
You're walking on eggshells with her.
You really are, and that's no way to live. Like, that's part of what makes me not root for her. Like, I am 1,000% rooting for Jon Snow. Yeah. Because he is the only character, the only one who has, throughout the entire series, he has never done anything questionable. Everyone else vying for it, I feel like, everyone's done really shady stuff. What do we think is going to happen after this episode?
I'm nervous to see what's going to happen with Sam because he went into the restricted section of the library.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't bode well.
No, and I'm just scared that something's going to happen to him. He's going to, like, lose a hand or, like, like an eye for an eye kind of thing. I don't know.
So it'd be a hand because he stole.
Right.
So you lose a hand.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me so nervous, though. And he's so sweet. And he's just trying to do good. And then, so if he does get this message over to...
That's what I was going to say. Do they not know what Cersei did in King's Landing? Like, does no one know that yet? Or is that common knowledge? Like, does no one know that she blew up half of the city? Or does everyone know that? Because no one else has had conversations like, oh, God, half of King's Landing's gone. We should go now. Or maybe that's what they're talking about in the next episode where they're like, we should take it now.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is, where they finally get warning and word of, and then they finally have some allies where then...
Yeah.
I don't remember who says it in the episode.
It's the Greyjoy woman.
Who's like, we need to take it now.
Yeah. I don't know. So, we don't really know where Arya's going to go. I'm really nervous that she's still with those pack of hoodlums.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're hoodlums, but I just, like, I don't really know.
I mean, Ed Sheeran's part of them, so.
But, okay, do we know who they fight for?
I didn't notice from their uniforms.
But they were talking about boats, so are they with the Greyjoys? But they were wearing red, and it looked like they had lions on their things, so are they Lannisters? But if they were Lannisters, they would probably jump on her when she said she was going to kill the queen.
And they laughed instead. Although they could be pompous Lannisters. Lannisters are pompous. They could just be like, psh, right, you're trying to kill the queen. Or like, that's a joke. Right. Like, we're Lannisters.
I know, but she was feeling some major, like, struggles when all that was going on, too. Because she wanted to, like, steal their weapons or something.
Yeah, she was looking all the weapons. She was probably just trying to... She knew she was going into, like, a thing full of men, and she needed to eat, and, she was trying to probably make sure she understood her surroundings.
Yeah.
Survival 101.
Yeah. And then... I don't really know.
this is our recap of episode 1. And our corrections to our part 1 of episode 2 of Wine With Us. So please forgive us.
Bear with us.
What we were wrong about. But at least you know that we will claim our mistakes.
Yeah.
So if we made any during this episode, you can expect some corrections. Cheers.
Have a great night! Don't let the Lannisters bite.